Hey friends, and welcome to the Great American Stampin Show, Season 3, Episode 9. This is an exciting time to be connected with the GAS girls, the Great American Stampin Show girls, because we have a lot of fun stuff going on. We right now have our GAS party coming up. It's an exclusive Zoom party where we're all going to demonstrate and play games and give away prizes. And the way to get an invitation to that is to place an order with any one of the four of us. If you'd like to place an order with me, I would appreciate it. Right down in my description, you will see a link to do that. You just use a host code. The order needs to be $35 or more, and you will get an invitation. The party is on October 2nd, and if you're not able to come, don't worry, we'll record it so that you can see it later and watch those fun demos and stuff. Also, we have our 12 weeks of Christmas project tutorials coming up. Those come through your email every Tuesday each week for the 12 weeks that lead up to Christmas, or I think we stop like the first week of December or so. That way you can get all of your fun Christmas stamping done in time. So if you want to be a part of that and receive those tutorials, you just need to be on my email list. There's a link for that right here in my description. Very easy to join. You will receive tutorials in your inbox for those 12 weeks of Christmas. Now, this is an episode of the Great American Stampin Show, which means this is a huge competition. I have brought my A game today. I made a really fun project that I'm really proud of, and each of my competitors have done the same. So your job is to watch this video, watch each of theirs, which are linked in my description below, and then just click like or thumbs up on YouTube for the one that you like the best, and we will announce a winner next week. Our winner from last time was Jody. Congratulations, Jody. She slayed us. She beat us by a landslide. So thank you so much for watching and for all of your support of Jody's project. I'm glad it was so much fun for all of you guys. And let's get going on this week's challenge. For all of our Season 3 videos, we've been going to our annual catalog, and on page 22, there are all of these great little layouts to do different types of card fronts. So this is our episode number 9, which means we're over here on card number 9. It's right here. Just got a whole bunch of strips in the background of a card with some kind of a circle right there on the front. So that is our creative inspiration. Let's go. Of course, the first thing we need is some kind of a card base. Now this one is kind of unusual. It's a long one. I've got some score lines here. We'll get more to that in a little bit. But right now we're just going to work on this card front and give it some strips right across the front. I have been loving this Halloween Spells paper. So I've got just some strips here of different pieces from that Halloween Spells. These are all 5 1/4 long, and then I have cut them at different widths. I've got some that are 1/4, some that are 1/2, some that are 3/4. I even have an inch piece. So here's my inch piece, that one's white. And I'm throwing in a little bit of glimmer paper. I love glitter paper. And right now we have a pretty good selection because we have a festive glimmer paper that's in our holiday mini catalog that has red and it has 2 shades of green. This is the lighter green. And then this is our 3-color glimmer pack. I think it's got like a deep blue and a pink and this purple. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But there are a few different packages and you can get kind of a variety of colors. So I've pulled glimmer paper from 2 of them. All the products I've used here are linked in my description so you can see what's what. And I am just going to attach these to the card front to create that whole strip background like we saw. Okay, so it's a little bit fussy to put adhesive on the back of these strips, especially because they're all different sizes. We've got some that are really skinny, so the Seal Plus won't work as well on that. And I just didn't want to make a mess of this as I try to line up the pieces on here. So I'm going to actually glue these pieces to a piece of scrap paper. This is just like copy paper, the paper that would be in my printer. And I have cut it 3 inches wide, quite a bit narrower than it's going to be on the card here. And I cut it, I know the strips are going to go about 5 inches high, so I cut it just shy of that. And I'm going to cover this with adhesive so that I can just bring the strips to it and attach them to it. The other thing I'm going to do is just sketch myself a little frame in which to arrange these. So I'm kind of making myself a line that goes up the 5 to there, and then this piece is 5.5 wide, so I just don't want any of these strips to go off the edge of it. I want them to go back and forth and be offset a little bit without going outside of my little frame. So I'm going to make my little window 5.25. And then as I'm laying these down, I will just make sure that nothing wanders outside the window. I'm going to grab my strips and just kind of lay them on here. So let's start with the green right down here at the bottom. And once you have one of them laid down, it's pretty easy to just bump each one right against the last one. Now that we have all of our strips glued down and it's kind of just this whole unit, it makes for a really nice layer that we can easily bring over here and center and make it look good before we glue it down. I'm going to flip to the back. We'll use some Seal Plus on our little copy paper, and then we'll carefully roll some along these sides as well. I'm loving how these strips of paper look. Love this background for the front of our project. Now, I have been in a spooky mood lately. I made a Halloween card last week, and now I was in the mood to do something more that I usually do for Halloween, and that is a treat package. So let me show you a very cute little treat that I found at the store. I just got these at Smith's or like Kroger at our local store, and I usually buy these for Easter, and honestly they're not even that delicious, but they're so cute. So when I saw the ghost ones, I thought I was excited about that. So I was telling my aunt Melanie, she's a stamper too, I was saying I want to put this card front onto a treat package. And remember how our card design has a circle on the front. So I thought, should I put one of those ghosts, or should I make it say Happy Halloween? And she had the idea to make a little window so that one of these ghosts could peek right out. So let me show you how I did that. Again, I used copy paper just from my printer. I cut it to the size of this card front. So this one's a little too small. I lined it up on here. And then I lined it up over here onto my treat package. I used the flashlight on my phone and I shined it so I could see, and I marked where the little face was just with a circle. And then I used one of my Stampin' Up punches to punch the circle out. So here's what I've got. And it's just slightly off to the side, so I marked it on the front so I would know which was which. So now I can make as many of these as I want, and I can go ahead and get the window in the exact right spot. So if I line this up with the front of my project, I know that I want my little circle right here. So let's just take a pen, and I'm making a circle on the inside of this. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I don't want to risk any ink going outside of there. And then what I'm actually going to use to cut this is one of the circles from our Stylish Shapes dies. So this is the one that's just over 2 inches. And I'm just going to make it so my written circle is in the center of this. And then I'll just run it through my Big Boss machine to cut the circle out. And this is how it looks. This was quite thick, but it cut all the way through. So there's the circle I just cut out. And here is what I've got now. So to kind of finish decorating this a little bit, they're just called mini alphabet dies. And I'm going to just grab some scraps of black and show you how I like to use this. I want it to say boo. So I'm going to put a little scrap of paper on the B, and then there are 2 O's on here, very convenient. So I'll just put a scrap that covers both of those. And then when I create my sandwich to go through my Big Boss machine, I'm just going to leave this upward so that I can make sure it is the way I want it. Almost all the time I face my dies downward, but you don't have to. I'm just going to build my sandwich with the platform, the extra layer, and the plate, and then put my second plate on top. Okay, here's what I've got. So let's go ahead and flip this over. Do some poking with my take your pick tool, the little piercing end. You can use the piercer to pull that away. Looks like I got an accidental P. I could make it say poo or boop, but I don't have room for that. I'll just stick with boo right here. One way to stick letters like this is to use adhesive sheets on your paper before you cut the die, but I didn't do that this time, so I'm just going to use a bit of liquid glue. I've got a scrap paper here and I just put a little bit on the paper, and I'm just going to pick up the B, turn it to the back. I've got a little toothpick. I just sort of do some dots. I find this is easier to manage than trying to squeeze the bottle and get little dots that way. But this is nice because it still has the ability to sort of move around just a bit so you can get it to the spot you want and then leave it to dry. Also cut a little piece. This is 16 inches of our white and silver ribbon. I'm going to thread this right through. I cut a little slit here on the edge, right on the fold next to the white, so that I could slide that through. We'll just do a really nice bow. Now I just have a little extra piece of cardstock to finish up this box. It's going to come around like this into the back, and then I'll just put both of these flaps to the side so I can line them up nicely. And we'll do a row of Seal Plus on each side. So now it stands like that. And we are ready to slide our little treat right in here. Boo. I love how that turned out. It's so fun to see him peek right through that hole. Let's look back at our inspiration right here with all the strips and a single circle. You guys, I think we did a fabulous job. That was a blast. Thank you so much for watching and stamping along with me today. I hope you'll try a project like this. I don't know if I've ever been this in love with a project. Boo! And these Peep marshmallow treats, I mean, they're good, right? But I love them 10 times more now that they made this adorable project. I hope you'll love mine the most. Give it the thumbs up right here, right now if you love it. And I will see you back here next time on our next awesome video. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss it. Bye!